Something is brewing in Minnesota that could change everything we thought we knew about this season. A quiet tension builds in the locker room, a mix of excitement and uncertainty, while a key position could determine whether this team becomes a true title contender or crumbles when it matters most. There's a rising star who could silence all the critics in a few games, but only if the right pieces around him remain in place. And here's the rub, a crucial change could still be made before the season starts. A decision that could transform a good roster into a championship-caliber force. I'll tell you all about it in detail, but first, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel to stay informed. Vikings fans, pay attention, because what we're about to talk about could determine the course of the season before the first snap is even played. The biggest fear lurking behind the scenes in Eagan has nothing to do with J.J. McCarthy, the rookie. Contrary to what many people think, has already earned the trust of the coaching staff. The real ghost wears cornerback. Number 2. Yes, Isaiah Rodgers carries the responsibility of holding the secondary together alongside Byron Murphy. And if he fails, Brian Flores' entire system could crumble. Imagine the pressure on Caleb Evans, Mekhi Blackman, and Jeff Okudah, as well as to UDFA letters who, however promising, remain gambles. This is the point that keeps the most attentive analysts awake at night. And there's more. Names like Jonathan Allen, Javon Hargrave, and even Christian Darrisaw have already felt the weight of injuries in the past. One slip up in the medical department, and everything could go down the drain. And if you think McCarthy's future depends on timing, think again. There's a game on the calendar that could change the way the entire NFL views him. It won't be against the Bears in the opener, nor against the Falcons in Week 2. Even though both are in prime time, the moment of truth could come in Week 4. In Dublin, Ireland, against Aaron Rodgers' Pittsburgh Steelers. Imagine the scenario. Vikings for 2-0. McCarthy with veteran numbers, the defense in place, and a convincing victory over a rival everyone said should be in Minnesota. This could be the game that makes the most skeptical commentators say the Vikings have a real quarterback, but as we've seen with Brock Purdy and even Jalen Hurts, there will always be those who try to downplay his accomplishments, saying it's all due to the system. But for the fans who watch every play, the narrative will be different. It will be the beginning of a new era. And speaking of new eras, the burning question, should the team look for another cornerback before the season starts? The most talked about name in the hallways is Stephon Gilmore. The veteran, a champion and hungry for a title, remains available and with a 1-year, $3 million contract, could be the missing security to transform a good defense into an elite one. This could happen right after the preseason, depending on how Blackman and Okudah perform in training. But it's not all about management decisions or speculation. Within the squad, some stories are drawing attention. Ivan Pace Jr., for example, is divisive. A fan favorite but with limited coverage. He could be in his final season in the purple uniform if Kobe King shows improvement. It's a frustrating situation, as Pace is the perfect player for Flores' aggressive scheme. And if we're going to dream of surprises, an under-the-radar name could become a Pro Bowler, Isaiah Rodgers. The staff believes in him, and if expectations are met, he could be one of the defense's standout performers. Now, fans, the question is for you. Who should be the starting cornerback at the start of the season? Do you trust Isaiah Rodgers, or do you think the team desperately needs a veteran like Gilmore? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments before moving on to the next part, where I'll reveal bold predictions for J.J. McCarthy and discuss whether the Vikings can truly be title contenders this year. And here's where things get even more intriguing, Vikings fans, because the future of this franchise may already be unfolding before our eyes, and the rest of the NFL might not be ready for it. Let's talk about J.J. McCarthy, because whether people like it or not, the rookie quarterback is about to define this team's ceiling. Forget the noise about him being unproven. Forget the analysts who still question if he was worth that draft pick. What matters is how he's being groomed by Kevin O'Connell, and how the Vikings are tailoring this offense to maximize his strengths. The system, inspired by Sean McVay, is designed to get receivers open, keep the ball moving, and make life easier for a young quarterback. But here's the kicker. McCarthy isn't just a system QB. The flashes we've already seen in camp suggest that his big game experience from college is translating faster than expected. This is a guy who played in national championships and playoff games, who's made mistakes, learned from them, and now carries himself like a pro. That matters more than any preseason stat line. Speaking of preseason, expect McCarthy to play likely for extended snaps. Kevin O'Connell might carry some of McVay's philosophy of resting starters, but there's no way they keep McCarthy off the field for too long, 10 to 15 drives. Absolutely possible. He needs those live reps, and the staff knows it. Don't expect to see Justin Jefferson or Christian Darrisaw out there, but you will see McCarthy building chemistry with guys like Jordan Addison and getting comfortable behind a line anchored by backups like Justin SKOL. Every snap counts, especially when Week 1 against the Bears will set the tone for the season now. Let's dream big for a moment. If McCarthy has a rookie year anywhere near what Jaden Daniels or C.J. Stroud accomplished, the Vikings instantly jump into the Super Bowl conversation. Think about it, this roster, with this coaching staff and a quarterback playing at that level, you're talking NFC Championship as a minimum, and it's not a crazy thought. The weapons are elite. Justin Jefferson is a generational talent, Addison is on the rise, and T.J. Hockenson provides a reliable safety blanket. The offensive scheme is already proven to make quarterbacks look better. But if McCarthy goes beyond just looking good and becomes a legitimate playmaker, the league will take notice fast. The defense, however, remains the wild card. Brian Flores is doing everything to turn this into an aggressive, opportunistic unit. But it all hinges on that cornerback to spot. If Isaiah Rodgers delivers, the secondary could quietly become one of the better ones in the NFC. If he doesn't, expect O'Connell and Kwesi Adofo-Mensah to make that call to Stephon Gilmore. A move like that in August would send a clear message. The Vikings are all in this year. And honestly, why wouldn't they be? McCarthy is on a rookie contract, which is the window every franchise dreams of. Spend now, compete now, win now. And let's not forget about some names that could quietly change games this season. Ivan Pace Jr., even with questions about his coverage skills, is a chess piece Flores loves to deploy in blitz-heavy packages. Dallas Turner, the rookie edge rusher, could be a force by midseason. And yes, Isaiah Rodgers, if he lives up to the hype, he could go from a concern to a Pro Bowl-level surprise. That's the kind of breakout this defense needs to push this team from playoff hopeful to legitimate contender. Now let's get brutally honest. The NFC North is up for grabs, but it won't be easy. The Lions are still the team to beat. The Packers are better than people want to admit. And even the Bears are improving with Caleb Williams under center. But Minnesota has the best overall roster when healthy. And if they can avoid those lingering injury concerns, especially with players like Darrisaw and key defensive linemen, they have as good a shot as anyone to claim that #1 seed. And yes, that's crucial. Playing on the road 3 straight weeks in the playoffs is almost impossible. And this team needs that home field edge, even if some argue it's overrated. Still, imagine an NFC title game in Minneapolis, McCarthy under center, Jefferson torching defenses, and that crowd shaking the building. That's not just a dream, it's a very real possibility. So, Vikings fans, let's talk about this right now. If McCarthy starts hot, say for 2-0 with convincing wins over the Bears, Falcons, Bengals, and Steelers, are you ready to believe he's the guy, or will you be like the national media, chalking it all up to the system? And what about the defense? Do you trust Isaiah Rodgers to lock down that CB to roll? Or do you want the front office to call Stephon Gilmore before it's too late? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to the channel. Go Vikings!